Can't lie, Petr Yan looked fantastic against Deiveson Figueiredo at UFC Macau. I had it completely wrong. I thought Deiveson Figueiredo was going to have a really good success coming in there and wrestling, similar to how we saw Merab Dvalishvili. We saw that was the plan. The plans don't always go what you want it to do. That doesn't even make sense, but you know what I'm trying to say. So yes, Petr Yan looked fantastic UFC Macau. I can't wait to see who he fights next. Is it going to be Merab 2, Xiaonan Yan 2, or, hear me out, Brandon Moreno? And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later. But first, I want to talk about how Petr Yan did so good just making Deiveson Figueiredo look like the flyweight that he is. Now, first we have to understand what Deiveson Figueiredo has changed and what he brings to the table as a bantamweight, moving up from flyweight. His output used to be, oh, I rely on my power, I'm trying to smash you out, and that's it. But since it's moved to bantamweight, it's been more, hey, I'm going to select my shots. Sure, I'm trying to hurt you, but I'm also here to wrestle. I want to look good as a fighter, but I want to win. And that's what he went out there to do, was to win. So before we get into this episode, please take a second to consider supporting the channel by either subscribing to our membership on YouTube, where you get exclusive videos just for you, or to Substack, where you get exclusive videos and articles just for you. It's a really good deal, and you're helping make Fight Finders 5, Fight Finder 6, and so on and so forth. Early in the first round, we saw that from Deiveson Figueiredo. He's like, hey, I want to get the takedown. Now, in our preview video, which if you're not a member of the channel, you should be, because that's where we go really deep in depth on how Deiveson Figueiredo's wrestling at bantamweight looks. We talked about how Deiveson Figueiredo would approach this, how he likes to attack, all of that. One of the things I pointed out was, hey, he's been training with Henry Cejudo. Look out for that inside reap of the leg. First round, he does it. Eventually, he gets Petr Yan to the ground, starts controlling him, and then Petr Yan turns into him. And I'm like, okay, so, you know, Deiveson Figueiredo still has a chance to win this round. Let's not be too, let's not be too scared of this, because he can still win this round, and then Petr Yan starts punching on him. And at the end of the round, you see Deiveson Figueiredo is like breathing heavy. We knew he had cardio issues, sure. But you also can kind of drown out Petr Yan's cardio issue or cardio advantage with takedowns. And that's what I expected Figueiredo to try and do. What Petr Yan did so good was the hand fighting. Constantly touching the lead hand, getting on top of the lead hand of Deiveson Figueiredo, grabbing the wrist like he does, coming over top with elbows and stuff. And it really nullified what Deiveson Figueiredo was hoping to do with the takedown. And that's all the credit in the world goes to Petr Yan for that, because that is magnificent. It is just fantastic. And that I can't get enough of how good he looked. I thought about the Song Yadong fight, and I was like, he didn't look so hot here. Maybe Song's just a tricky fighter, or maybe Petr Yan's just having a confidence crisis. Well, 8 months later, he had a surgery. I think he said an MCL surgery. He looked great. He looked like the old Petr Yan that was like, man, this guy could be a bantamweight champion for a long time if he doesn't knee somebody in the head while they're down. You see what I did there? Aljamain Sterling? It's crazy, man. He looks so good. So give me the Brandon Moreno fight next. Now, you're going to be like, Brandon Moreno? He just beat up a flyweight. Why do you want to fight Brandon Moreno next? Now, hear me out. You and I both know that Figueiredo, that Petr Yan does not deserve to fight Merab Dvalishvili. Even though Merab's calling him out, we know who deserves it. It was said that it's going to be one person that deserves that fight. Umar Nurmagomedov, after he beat Corey Sandhagen. That was the deal when that fight was booked. Like, oh yeah, the winner of this goes and fights for the title. Sean O'Malley loses, Merab wins, Umar wins, of course. You got yourself a situation where Merab's like, no, I want to fight in March because of Ramadan. And Umar's a Muslim and he's going to practice Ramadan like a good practicing Muslim does. I've got nothing against that. Merab's picking this T-Mobile, this UFC, what is that, 313? That's kind of a, yeah, this is when I want to fight. So you're out. You have to fight later in the year. And I kind of get it. He doesn't want to lose his belt. So, if the UFC is like, yo, you're fighting Umar Nurmagomedov next because we love everything Khabib, we love everything Islam, and guess what? That's the next thing in line for that. Merab might just have to do that. They might not offer him Petr Yan. Petr Yan wants the fight. Merab wants the fight. I get it. But they might not offer it. So what's he going to fight? Sean O'Malley? Sean O'Malley is kind of hard to book a fight with, if we're being honest. He'd probably run it back with Petr Yan, sure. But I'm not confident in his want to fight that urgent right now. He might feel like he could sit out and get a title shot, because you remember there was that talk of the rematch with Merab for going 5 rounds. But the Brandon Moreno, the thing I like about that is Merab's run through Petr Yan already. Umar's supposed to get the title shot, That's what should happen. But instead, they're giving it to somebody else. But if they don't, okay, so let's talk about if they don't here. Petr Yan needs to fight somebody. Brandon Moreno's already lost to Pantoja twice, 3 times if you count the Ultimate Fighter. So he's the top-ranked contender, just, beat Amir Albazi. So let's book Brandon Moreno and Petr Yan in a very fun, striking match. Now, a lot of people have the mindset that Brandon Moreno didn't look that good against Amir Albazi. That's neither here nor there. He's been out for a while, and Amir Albazi's also been out for a while, so weird fight. But there is a decline in what Brandon Moreno has been able to do. Kai Kara-France might get the Alexander Pantoja fight after the, Kai Asakura fight, which is in 2 weeks. So then you're like, let's have a fun fight. One that does not have implications on the rankings. You book that. That's the one you want to book. Loved it. Loved Deiveson Figueiredo. I thought he had a great run at bantamweight going, and I did think he was going to win this fight. But Petr Yan proved me wrong completely, and I couldn't be happier because he looked great. So, more power to him. Fantastic. Thank you, not Brandon Royval Moreno. Thank you, Petr Yan. I've been a fan for a while, and guess what? I'm going to continue to be a fan. I just thought you were going to lose. He didn't. Yan Zhang looked fantastic against Tabitha Ricci. Now, the thing about Yan Zhang is the fact she's a Sanda fighter. She's really kind of a point fighter, really bad with takedowns. So you're kind of like, okay, what's her ceiling here? And they booked the Zhang Weili versus Yan Zhang fight, kind of as a China versus China thing. Put her on UFC 300, made a big deal about it. Yan Zhang overperformed in that fight. If you remember, she did a good job of counter wrestling. That's how Zhang Weili won the fight. Fantastic, But she did a good job, and she really gave Zhang Weili a hard time. She's improved as a fighter. Yan Zhang has. She's got this really cool Sanda style side kicks. The punches are straight. It's beautiful. Her work is magnificent. I thought this was her best performance she's ever had. And she's had some decent performances in the past. I've been talking about Yan Zhang for a while. Like, man, she punches straight. That's all you want to see in a WMMA fight. Straight punching. And when you do it, it works magnificently until it doesn't. And we're going to be talking about Wang Kong in a second here. But what she was able to do was keep Tabitha Ricci at bay with the low kick. That's all it took. The low kick was all it took. That just goes to show you what the level of these fights are. If the low kick's all it takes, like, what are we even trying to do, right? But the low kick, the side kick, all of that really gave Ricci a hard time getting into a clinch, landing, getting the fight to the ground. If you can't get Yan Zhang to the ground, you're not beating her. Period. We missed out. I'm thinking about it now, guys. We missed out on a really good opportunity to see Yan Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That's a mouthful to say. I'm not going to say it again. Yan Zhang, I'm going to say it now. Yan Zhang versus Xiaonan Yan. Say that 5 times fast. Cool. Spell it. But yeah, that would have been a fantastic fight. So yeah, Yan Zhang, I'm really happy with how she performed in this fight. I thought, the win over Tabitha Ricci, who's trying to make her way into the top 5, it doesn't do much for her title hopes again. But at the same time, it's one of those like, oh, she's getting better, and it's going to give her time to get better too. Let's see. Let's get over to the web real quick. Let's see how old Yan Zhang is because, man, let's see. 35. So, oof. Might be a little too old, guys. Might be a little too old. But hey, more power to her. She looks good. You can go for longer in WMMA because it's WMMA. So, happy she got in there and got the win. What was next on this card? Oh, yeah, old man Muslim Salikhov. I felt pity for Muslim Salikhov after his loss to Randy Brown now. He took on Song Kanan here. He's a 21-5 guy, and he got a highlight finish. A guy who's known for, not really being the most exciting fighter with all the decisions. But he's consistently put on these heel kicks. I'm looking at his record now. Let's actually tell you what. Let's go over back to the web real quick. Let's take a look at this because, wow, I didn't know this about him. I'm about to make a compilation or something. So, look, the Song Kanan fight, spinning wheel kick. Let's see, Andre Fialho, spinning back kick. Okay, but wait, we're not done. Let's get before his UFC days. Melvin Gillard, spinning heel kick. Spinning back fist, spinning back kick. Ivan George, and Kunlun. Spinning back kick in whatever Bullet Fly FC3, 18 seconds in. I'm going to keep going, guys. I'm going to keep going. Is there another one? Come on. Is there another one? No. A bunch of Sanda decisions. But it's crazy. He has like 5 or 6 spinning back kick finishes or something involving them. That's wild. That's crazy. And we know his Sanda background. He's one of the better Sanda fighters of all time. And from Fight Finders 2, we went to see how Sanda works and what it's about. And we love Sanda here. So we love us some Muslim Salikhov. That Randy Brown loss hurt me, though. It really did. It hurt me. And when he rebounded against the old man Santiago Ponzinibbio, it was like, man, he's done. He's 40. So Song Kanan, he's a good guy. He's a good fighter. 22-8 coming into this. He's 34 years old, but he just can't put it together. He just can't put it together, and he gets spinning back kick. Now he did drop Muslim Salikhov. Don't get me wrong. He did drop him. He didn't look bad, but Muslim Salikhov with that spinning wheel kick, I'm gonna have to do a whole highlight of that because it's crazy how many he's got. Yeah, so great win by him. Let's see what else was on this card. Oh yeah, Gabriela Fernandez versus Wang Kong. Now, this one was interesting. So I said earlier, like, all you need in WMMA fights is straight punching. Yeah, Wang Kong does all that. She has a win over Valentina Shevchenko. If you didn't know, like they didn't announce it 10,000 times during the fight, she has a win over Valentina Shevchenko. She's a good striker, and she looked great in here. She's slick, skipping side kicks, all kinds of crazy stuff you'll see. But she punches straight, and it served her well. Until it didn't. Gabriela Fernandez went in there and knocked her down and put her out completely. I think was it a choke? Let me check real quick. Was that a choke? I can't remember. Yeah. Knocked her with a rear naked choke. Knocked her down, got the rear naked choke. So, real crazy. Kong Wang was 6-0, went down to 6-1. What was that? That was her second UFC fight? Yeah. After winning Road to UFC. Kunlun's got some good fighters coming out of that. That's something you need to pay attention to a little bit more. But one of my favorite parts of the night was Carlos Ulberg. He's a problem, boys. He is a problem. I mean, he took on Volkan Ozdemir, who's a heavy hitter too. Ulberg's a heavy hitter, and we know that. He has a 12-second knockout over Alonzo Menifield. A round 3 rear naked choke, round 1 left hook, another left hook. He's really slick with his left hook, guys. He is really sick. His only loss is to Kennedy Nzechukwu, and that's like, ugh. But that's way back in 2021. So he is a kickboxer, really good fighter, like really good mechanics. And him versus Alex Pereira one day could be some real fun. It could be some real fun. Like, Pereira's old. Carlos Ulberg is 34, so he's not that young either. But these two guys, they're going to throw left hooks at the same time. And, like, there's going to be that from, like, Super Smash Brothers, and they're both going to fall. First one to get up wins. That's how it goes. He really does get on his back foot real well and throws that good left hook. Doesn't keep his hand up high. He throws a left hook. He hits heavy. He hurt Ozdemir. Ozdemir hurt him now. Volkan Ozdemir hurt him But what I liked a lot about Carlos Ulberg was his footwork. His footwork looked great. He's exiting at an angle, and that's all you can ask for at light heavyweight with what we got. Light heavyweight fighters aren't the most technical. We're going to be honest. They're not. But what I think is great from what we saw from Ulberg is he has the ability to do so, and getting off the center line really did hurt Volkan Ozdemir. Like, Ozdemir didn't know what to do. He's swinging at just chasing around, bloodied up. You know, the jab from Ulberg was working wonders. It was just a great performance from Carlos Ulberg, and I really wish we would have seen that Jamal Hill fight because, wow. Speaking of, they just booked Hill versus Yuri Prochazka, so that's a really fun fight. So, yeah, Carlos Ulberg, really good fight, man. I liked him. I think he's got some promise. Let's see. What else happened here? Zhang Miyang versus Ozzy Diaz. Everybody was hot on Ozzy. Obviously, the guy from China won in China for, well, it was a knockout, so it wasn't anything crazy there. Yusu Young versus... next, Choi Dong-hong defeated Sahota Kiru. Shiming got a win on the Road to UFC tournament. This Road to UFC guys putting out some really good stuff. The names on this, oh my gosh. Carlos Hernandez beat that guy. Lona Kavanagh got him a win. He's real fun. I like him a lot, and I'm looking forward to what he brings to the table. Zhao Long defeated Li Kang. And then Nicholas Mota defeated, let's see, Mahahasti Heiser? I don't know. Weird name. So anyways, guys, yeah, I talked about Fight Finders 2, but you know what's better than Fight Finders 2? Fight Finders 5. Really pushing that hard right now because I just dropped it. Brandon Davis, we follow him around at GameBred FC. Watch that video right over there. Watch it because it's good. I made it. It's my docu-series. It's my baby. I love it. I'm already working on Fight Finder 6, so watch this one, keep caught up, and let's go, baby.